Hello, welcome back to 10 at 10. My name is Michael Ramage. I am the director of the Cyber Education and Research Center here at Murray State University, and welcome back to 10 at 10. 10 at 10 is brought to you through a partnership between Murray State University, Grow West, the Technology Council of West Kentucky, KY Innovation, and our local partner, Sprocket Innovation in Paducah, and the Kentucky Innovation Station in Madisonville. This week is episode 147, and we are going to look at a few headlines from the news today and try to see what we can learn and apply for our organizations and to protect ourselves and those that we care about. So first, let me talk about um, really quick ransomware. Actually, it's not going to be really quick. We're going to talk about ransomware a little bit today. The first article is why ransomware victims can't stop paying off hackers. You've heard me say it. You might be violating state or federal law or sanctions if you pay the ransom on a ransomware attack, but we continue to pay. We victims continue to pay, and this article actually highlights an interesting example about that. MGM, who we talked about on here, was hit with a ransomware attack that took down a lot of its operations at some of its casinos and in Vegas. Um, they were hit with a massive ransomware but attack, but the ransom itself was not known. It's likely less than 100 million. But anyway, that what that number is, we actually don't know yet. But they chose not to pay. And a lot of the reason that we have talked about them and that we continue to hear about them is because they chose not to pay. Similarly, there was a cyber attack on Caesars. It barely made it into the news because they chose to pay. And so while there um, we shouldn't pay, the majority of organizations are paying because it's faster, cheaper, in their opinion, in their situations, to just go ahead and pay off the hackers. It makes the incident go away. Is that the right thing to do? Right thing to do? Probably not, but it's really not my position to say what's right for your business, for your organization. But the reality is, people are paying because, as the headline says, paying is easy. That's the easiest thing to do, and a lot of times it does truly make the incident go away. But ransomware is at an all-time high because, in large part, people are paying. This article talks about how high that ransomware piece has gotten. There was a dip that came maybe beginning of the year, end of last quarter of last year. I forget exactly where that dip occurred, but there was a dip. And what has happened is the the technique, the processes that the hackers are using have changed, and it has made it more effective. So now 76% increase in cyber attack, in ransom reported incidents. Bear that in mind. And there's a number of double extortion ransomware attacks now, which is basically where the the hacker, the adversary, first will steal data, will exfiltrate data, sensitive data, confidential data, and then they do a double ransom. One, pay the ransom or we're not going to decrypt your data so that you're going to lose your data. And two, just in case you have backups or that you think you can rebuild your data cheaper than the ransom, they go ahead and steal that sensitive data. So what that means is that if you don't pay, not only will they not decrypt the data, but now they're going to disclose that data publicly in online forums. And let me tell you, from what we've seen, from what I've seen, what security professionals have reported, um, they're following up on that threat. So now, if you don't pay the ransom, not only are they going to leave your data encrypted and you're going to have to start over from backups or from scratch, but even if you have backups, now that data is that private, sensitive company data is going to be shared online, and you don't want that. So now they think they got you, and so it's been more effective. More people are paying, so the instances of ransomware attacks are going up. All right, this one's a really important, um, really interesting piece right here. So first of all, we've talked about the SolarWinds attack. It was from a few years ago. It was SolarWinds was targeted by a Russian backed hacking group, and in probably, as it says in the article, the key points, probably one of the worst cyber espionage incidents in U.S. history. It was really extensive. It took a long time for the hack to be noticed. SolarWinds provides software to a number of companies. So when SolarWinds updated their software to these companies had a breach. There are a lot of government agencies that were compromised. It was a bad attack. SEC has sued SolarWinds, and what the suit says is the chief information security officer and the company overstated its cybersecurity practices and understood that there were vulnerabilities in the company's systems, and they did not address them, and and fraudulently claimed that they were covered. Now, I have read about this quite a bit, and this is a significant thing. We often tell people that the world of cybersecurity is changing, and what I mean by that is, well, a number of things. One is that if you're senior management in an organization now and you're not doing anything about your security, you're now being held liable. Target leadership at Target way back when, 10 years ago, were held liable. And now SolarWinds is being held liable. There's, the suit from the SEC has now targeted SolarWinds for not doing what they should be doing as senior leaders in that organization. So bringing that to you, make sure that you're doing what you should be doing to protect your organization. And if you're not, don't claim that you are. That's fraud. Next story, and this really goes back to ransomware, because that's the big piece, but it's also data breaches. Cyber attacks cause revenue losses in 42% of small businesses. 85% of small business leaders say they are ready to respond to a cyber incident, despite a record high 73% reporting an attack in 2023. And of those that were hit, 42% of small businesses lost revenue due to a cyber event. That's significant. If you're a small business out there watching this, do you have money that you want to lose in a cyber incident? Almost half, 4 out of 10 are going to lose money during a cyber incident. So the better prepared you are ahead of time, the less impact that's going to have. So keep that in mind and make sure that you're ready for that. And the last thing I want to touch on, this came out on October 30th. So that was Monday. President Biden issued an executive order on safe, secure, and trustworthy artificial intelligence. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because this is going to evolve and grow throughout the months and years. But there's been a lot of concern about what AI is doing, what it's able to do, how can it be used for criminal activity. So now, is this executive order going to fix everything? Absolutely not. but it's a great step. The White House is aware of the issue and the concerns that people have, and they're at least taking steps to try to determine how best to manage and secure artificial intelligence. Anyway, just a few of the stories out this week. There's a lot that's going on in cyberspace. We just wrapped up Cybersecurity Awareness Month, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. So, with that in mind, if you have questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. I am always interested in and willing to talk to someone, try to help answer questions, do anything that I can to help keep you safe, keep your organization safe in cyberspace. So please let me know. Happy to talk, and I'll talk to you next week back here on 10 at 10. Thank you. Bye.